you for this nice opportunity to
In this
know
social event.
yeah in this shows yeah to know more people, American people or people around the world. So I am so excited now because maybe I will meet to a nice person, a special
Someone
person for me.
special, yeah.
I hope that.
We hope that.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, maybe you can introduce yourself about your hobbies. What do you do in your free times?
Okay. Well, again, my name is Catherine. So I am Peruvian. I was born in Cusco. So I studied.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Abigail, mi ID es 224602. Te invito al Tour Perú-Lima y te invito a que me escribas para conocernos. Chao.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Alanis, soy de Lima, Perú. Y bueno, te invito a que vengas a Lima Perú Tour, que se va a realizar el 4 de junio, donde podrás conocerme a mí y además señoritas peruanas. Espero verte pronto allí. Cuídate y hasta luego.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Soy Susana y quiero aprovechar e invitarte a Lima Perú Tour que se va a llevar a cabo en junio de este año, en donde podrás conocerme y a otras chicas también. Nos vemos.
Yes, welcome back to another Monday Night Webcast. It's great to see you all once again. Tonight, as always, I'm going to be answering all your questions about international dating and marriage. And we do have a poll question for you tonight, which is, what first sparked your interest in international dating? So, what gave you idea? I would say how many years ago? Hopefully not many years, but at least months or days, whatever it is, you started thinking about it. Let us know and let's talk about it. And to begin with, let me remind you about our group tours and our upcoming seminars. So we have a wonderful seminar here in Phoenix, Arizona, our headquarters. So it's going to be June 20th. So we have 19 days before this wonderful event. It's totally free seminar. You're more than welcome. Come here to our Phoenix office. You're going to meet the crew and couples that met through us. So they can share their experiences. You can ask your questions. And if you're interested, whether group tours, individual tours, single introductions, whatever it is you have in your mind, or if you have some questions and concerns, you can address it. We'll be happy to help you. Event lasts about 4 or 5 hours. Again, as I mentioned, it's totally free. There's going to be some food provided and a great company. Another one we have in London, July 12th. So if you're watching us from the UK, make sure you RSVP so we can plan accordingly. And of course, Los Angeles seminar on August 22nd. So John and Tanya are going to be there. They're going to meet you guys and it's going to be spectacular. And as far as upcoming tours, we have Peru tour starting in 3 days. Technically, it's still possible to make it happen because, hey, it doesn't take that long to make it to Peru. So you still can buy tickets, have nothing to do for this weekend. Those beautiful ladies are waiting for you. Costa Rica, July 2nd. So it's, again, something to do the 4th of July weekend. So if you don't have any special plans, come to Costa Rica, meet those wonderful ladies. And in the end of the summer, so in August, we have Cebu Philippine tour, so you can attend that as well. Plus, we're gonna have the very unique mini social events in Los Angeles. It's actually going to be attended by Chinese ladies. It's going to be very different from what we do in other countries. We tried this format last year and it was very successful. Got quite a few engagement. Basically, it's going to be Chinese ladies. Some of them already locally residing in the United States. Some are traveling all the way from China to meet you guys. And number of seats are limited. So if that's something you're interested in, again, it's end of August, so contact us so we can RSVP for that. And we do have another good information for you. So as you know, our April tour was just over, obviously. So we have some good film from that. So we have a couple testimonials from the guys that just took that tour. So let's hear what they have to say, and then we're gonna go to your questions.
From the beginning, you came to Ukraine. You decided to come to Ukraine, war zone, drones are flying around, but you decided to come over here. It didn't scare you. Why you decided to come to Ukraine?
I play the percentages.
Play the percentage.
Chances of me, an individual, so the risk reward was worth it for me.
You came here. Did you date individual girls or just the girls that you met on social?
I did not contact anyone before coming here.
And how was the social for you?
Social worked out just the way I thought it would.
And how you thought it would be?
Figured that you're going to find someone organically just like you would be anywhere. But at that point, discussing with the other gentleman, we knew that to be together, everyone has the same mindset when you're there. It's not just, someone's doing this, someone's doing that in some group. Everyone has the same mindset to go and find someone.
It was comfortable for you to be on social, to talk to the girls?
Sure. Everyone's friendly. You have your interpreter. The advisors here, such as yourself, always prepared you for what was happening. It's an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else. So,
Did you meet any friends on social?
absolutely,
Any guys friends?
absolutely.
Did you expect that from the tour in general, that it's not just gonna be girls, it's not just gonna be like going to meet the girls, interview the girls, but it's gonna be so friendly, let's say?
Yeah, there's very little, I would say, competition that happens between the guys in general. It's not like that. It's not like you have a finite in the number of people to meet. There's always someone for you to at least speak with, and make the evening enjoyable.
And did you meet any girls on social? How many girls did you talk on social to? Did you talk to many girls? I know I was forcing you
did
to
not.
talk. I know that I was forcing guys to talk to the girls,
Y-
but it was hard for me to force you to talk to the girls.
You know what you want when you find it,
That's
in
true.
my opinion.
That's true. Yeah, you
If you have your mindset, if you know, you know.
Would you choose again to go on a tour instead of going individually to meet the girls if you would need it?
I would definitely go on the tour, even if, just even for a vacation, just say to meet everyone. It was real, because you have like that base of operation that you can go and check in with and then go and explore. You're not alone in obviously this is a very foreign to me as an American. I mean, I was educated on it. I looked up about Ukraine and everything else, but until you're here, you don't know how your reactions can be. But the people on the streets are wonderful. I've met quite a few local Ukrainian
Mhm.
men.
Yeah, you were carrying the sausages from the breakfast
Yeah,
and the dogs.
the dogs. Yes, it's funny. It's funny to pick up on some of the differences. I mean, the guy above the McDonald's right down the street here lived in New York for 20 years, so he spoke good English, and he befriended me out on the Palanton staircase.
Mm-hmm. Potomkins.
Yeah, Tompkins case. And then the guy from Canada just playing pool at an Irish pub.
Mm-hmm. How about the stuff? The girls that were in-house and
The staff
Yeah.
is
Staff.
wonderful, very competent. I'm a business owner myself. I would hire everyone.
Huh. So girls, if they will lose the job, they know where to go.
Yep, I think you guys know who I am.
What would you tell to the guys who's still watching the show, and how long you were watching the videos before you decided to go on the tour?
I looked up. I was just curious about the whole dating thing going on, foreign. And so I was looking up information, just, doing YouTube searches, and came across AFA. And from what I know, I mean, it's just straight information that you can count on. There's no, everything they say on it is exactly how it is. You don't have to feel like, oh, it's a scam or anything like that. All the girls that you see can verify that you could ask all the men on the tour. Everyone says it. They're all verified. They look exactly like they are. I mean, sure, they do their photo shoots, but I mean, everyone wants to be presentable, but they look exactly like they are.
And what would you recommend to the guys who's still thinking to go on a tour, maybe to go by themselves, maybe just write letters?
You can't buy for the pricing this level of service. Is that
Yeah.
short enough an answer for you?
That's very, very short answer. Thank you so much for coming here. And now the tour is over. Did you find the one?
Yep.
Может, что-то есть, что он хотел бы сам от себя добавить?
Maybe there is something that you would want to tell from yourself? I don't know.
I'm already looking to be back here, doing searches of how much the pricing is for where you would want to live. So, and you can find that information out either from the staff or even just walk into the apartment complex that you can ask, and if you have your Google Translator, but many of them speak English here. Maybe not so much from what I've heard from people in Kiev, but even in Odessa, the main people at the hotel here will speak English for the most part, at least enough to be able to communicate well.
Thank you so much. And I hope next video gonna be of you telling us that you inviting us on some event, like wedding event.
Yes, we will work it out. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you were here. I'm happy to see every guy on this tour. And I'm glad that we helped you. Maybe you didn't expect that to turn out, but I think it turned out well for you.
I think so too. I know so.
It is. And I see from your face. I saw the pictures. And I know that it turned out well.
Yeah, take them to opera. It's a boss move.
Also, that was just a secret move.
They're very cultured. The women very educated. Almost everyone has some sort of higher thing after, in America would be called high school. So they take their interest and they're very serious about no matter what it is. So you take them seriously, they'll give you the same respect back.
Thank you for giving that. It's gonna help to a lot of guys who is watching us. Like you found us by YouTube. There will be guys who is gonna watch you and will decided to come over.
Yeah, and it wasn't just entertainment. I mean, you can go through YouTube and all of a sudden something pops up, that's totally unrelated, and the video comes like, look. But I was specifically looking for information, so it was very helpful. And then I went to Las Vegas to actually have a sit-down seminar face-to-face, and they'll give you all the information there too. So you can take a little trip in America first and spend 4 hours with them, and you'll get a lot of detailed information that you just can't do on video, 100%.
And you actually had the time to get to know us. I mean, that was John
yes.
on seminar, Tanya, Uliana.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get that sense that we are actually real.
Yes, absolutely. You're an American company. There's a lot of you get Facebook advertisements or such like that on those type of social medias that just try to get you there, and it's not anywhere the same. If you want something serious and actually meet someone who's in the same mindset as you, I don't know of any other company that does it.
The tour is almost done.
Yes.
what is your how you can describe your experience?
Uh, describe my experience. I would say, as I said before, this is my first time, and it's kind of like a learning experience. Learned a lot of things, and also had like so much fun, like with like amazing people, and learning more about Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian food, and being on a couple of dates with a different mindset of women. So it's actually really great. Yeah.
You went on socials.
Yes.
You met ladies one-on-one introductions. The girls that were not on a social.
Yes.
Do you prefer to meet the girls on a social more or one-on-one introductions?
Uh, I mean, like, I don't mind both, but I think like meeting girls at the social is uh much more, I would say, ideal way to do. Like, yeah,
Easier, maybe?
easier, and
The
I think like
atmosphere around.
atmosphere around it just gives you that comfort. So you got your boys around, like staff around, and so you will be at first maybe you might get frozen up or like you might be shy or hesitant or something like that. But once you get into the rhythm, like after 5-10 minutes, you'll be fine. You just go and talk to people because like it's the socials, everybody's there for the same thing. It's the same goal, just to find their right man or woman, like the right partner. So like just keep talking and see how the chemistry goes with each and everyone, and then find your girl. Yeah, I think like socials are the best way to actually meet the girl rather than one-on-one. Yeah.
And on the tour, there was a lot of guys.
Yes.
Sometimes you were dating the same girls.
Yes.
Um, how do you feel being around all the guys? Did you make any friends?
Yes, I made some good friends. And also like share some stories, and we hang out, and even going on the tours, like we're just having a good chat and everything. Definitely we exchanged numbers, we made a group chat, and we decided that to like if anyone is like a successful story, please share, because we just want every man to be successful. That's why
Did you
it's a good bonding.
did you meet any like good girls that can be the option for the future wife?
Yes, definitely, yeah. There are like two women. Obviously, I think like if you watch my interests before, I'm a very picky person. So I think like I got, yeah. So there are like two girls, I think. I can't remember how many girls I met, and in the socials or like a one-on-ones. And I think there are two women like in my top list, and like I'm thinking to communicate further, like even though if I go back home and see how it goes. Yeah.
Right about that, about coming back.
Mhm.
Do you have a plan? Because long-term relationship, long-distance relationships,
Yeah.
it is hard to maintain.
Of course.
And you usually have to have a plan.
Yes.
Do you have a plan where you're gonna meet them, or in how many months is you planning to meet somewhere or in Ukraine?
I'm actually open to that, but for me, the main thing is how the relationship develops with this woman. So that is actually what I'm focusing on. If that is really strong, then I'm actually open to meet anywhere, Ukraine, anywhere in Europe. It depends. I can just pack my luggage and then just get on a flight. Even though I live far away in New Zealand, 35 hours flight, I don't mind, because it is worth, because you're looking for a life partner. It is very important. But for me, rather than planning a trip where to meet, I focus on building a relationship with that woman. See, it has to be very strong. And then, yeah, if we decide like we want to meet, if the woman says like, yeah, I feel like I wanted to meet, I will be like, yeah, just tell me. I'll start packing my luggage now.
Tell me, how was the stuff? Let me, and I know the girl sitting here around, you probably cannot say that your assistant was horrible, but your assistant is not here right now, so you can tell me the truth. How was the girls at the in-house helping translators?
But there are other people here, so they might beat me up.
Yeah, and I'm here well, so can't.
No, the girls, like the assistants, like how to call like a staff, they are really good. But I will this is what I wanted to tell you. First 1 or 2 days, I was like considering them are like staff or like my matchmaker or something like that. But third day, I started to consider them as my family.
yeah, we all became friends.
We all became friends, you know. It's like everyone knows everyone, and they're getting to know each other, and it's like started sharing like personal stories and get bonding, going for dinners together and everything. And the staff, for example, just for the video's sake, the staff here, the representatives here are like very, very kind and very, very thoughtful. You know, like what they try to do is like they try to get to know you, because like they know some of the girls and they will advise you if she's the right match or not. And also they are completely aware that like men can be a little bit, I would say, oh, she's super hot, I just wanted to go, like no matter how the mindset is, how the attitude is, but they will advise you, listen, it is just not about the looks all the time, it is also about the character, attitude, whether you both are compatible or not. They will give you advice, and but at the same time they won't tell you what to do, but they will give you their best advice and they will leave the option for you to choose. But I think it's always good to listen to the experienced people, because you do this for a living, and I'm sure you have seen lots of stories, unsuccessful stories, successful stories, like you know what you're doing, so it's better to like listen to you guys and get on with it. Yeah.
And the last thing probably is I always asking, what would you tell to the guys who is watching us for years, who is still thinking should they go on a tour or not? Not even a Ukrainian tour. We understand the situation in Ukraine, and the guys like different type of ladies. We do have tours in Colombia, Philippines, Thailand, China, Japan,
Yes.
Mexico, Argentina. What would you recommend to the guy who's still thinking, oh, maybe I don't know if it's gonna work for me or not. I don't know, should I go or not?
I would say, like everybody said, like it is 100% worth it. You just do it, but it's all depends on like where you want to go, like what kind of woman you like. As I said, like Eastern European, Asian, Latin American. You just see what the next tour is available. You just, but also make sure like plan like a little bit of a buffer zone, like just in case if you meet your right woman, you should be able to spend more time. So just plan in that way, but definitely come for the tour. Just to give you an example, my tour is almost finished. Like I'll be leaving tomorrow evening, but I cannot say for sure that I found my right woman, because as I said, there are two top on the list. Hope everything is goes, but I'm also already planning for my next tour.
Oh God.
How I'm not even joking, because now I have seen it. This is worth it. I know I will be successful. It is just a matter of having the patience to find the right woman. You got like the experienced people here to help you, to make you successful. It is just like how committed you are. Yeah. So if nothing works, I will be here for the next tour. Not saying like I will be in the next July, at least maybe end of this year or early next year, I will be back in Ukraine for sure, if I'm still single.
Thank you so much, dear. I hope
Thank
you
you.
will not be back and you won't be single. We all want our clients to be successful
100%.
in the search, and we're probably not one of not many companies that really want to remove profiles of the guys, remove profiles of the girls for the reason that they found the one. Because we happy when you guys successful. You saw 100 stories of ours,
Yes.
and we have guys on a tour who came here because of their friends that they
Yes.
found the one. Awesome.
Yeah, so even of course, even I don't want to be coming here. I want to find a man. So I would want to be in a position where I will be texting you, and I'll be texting John. I will be texting Anastasia. Everyone, oh, you know, my wife is in labor, and we had a kid,
Yeah.
and we're going honeymoon for this trip. Like all the other clients are sharing stories to you.
Mhm.
So I would like to be in that place as well. But as I say, let's see. Hope for the best.
Then I hope and wish for our next talk to be Anna, I found the one. I'm
Yes.
proposing
Yes.
Chazarine.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. I cannot speak.
Thank you.
Well, amazing videos, a lot of great information. So let's get to your questions right now and see what you have to say. So the first one is from Jonathan. He says the seminars that here in certain cities in the US have a social, but the people are from China. How come that the Russian Ukraine that live in the US not invited to socials? No, we're not excluding them from the socials for sure, but they just didn't express the interest in participating in it. It's just a little bit different dynamics between cultures, and also there's a little bit different situations, people being spread out a little bit more. But yeah, with just Chinese ladies, I guess Woute would be more motivated in meeting you guys if they're willing to fly all the way from China. And the local Russians, Ukrainian residents that are here, again, they usually spread out all over the place, and they're not willing to travel to those major cities for the events. Maybe in the future we will consider that, but at this time we didn't have enough people willing to participate. Julian says, poll question answer. I decided to date outside of the UK because dating in the UK does not work anymore. We don't have wives or mothers anymore. We just have entrepreneurs and businesswomen now. Well, it's a common dynamic all over the world because, world has changed. But in a lot of countries that we go to, I agree, that has a little bit more old-fashioned values, and that's what you can find over there. We still can guarantee that every woman you meet is gonna have those old-fashioned values, so you might wanna, if you correspond, just ask your questions on how she sees her future. After a marriage, if she is planning on working, building a career, she would prefer to be stay-at-home mom. So that's very important questions that you want to ask even before you meet, or at least on the first date. So just so you know that you guys are on the same page when it comes to the future. All right. Next one. Next one is from Julian. What first sparked me with dating out of UK is women in other countries still have family values and much more pleasant to date than here in the UK. All right, so yes, so we have so many great destinations for you, Julian. So whatever, if you travel into Eastern Europe or Asia, Latin America, we'll be happy to help you. Lucky says, I had a great time in Ukraine, staff are amazing and everything's 100% genuine and legit. I'm glad to be part of AFA. Well, thank you, Lucky, so much. Thank you for attending the tour. It was our pleasure to host you. And hopefully you met someone very, very special. Thank you again. Next one is from Jonathan. What about the Russian Ukrainian ladies that are in the US now? We have very few profiles of Eastern European ladies that are currently in the United States. Probably, top of my head, I'm probably thinking about 10, maybe 15 at the most, because we try to, not to explore domestic dating too much, because we found that international dating is more successful, because it's just, first of all, even if a lady is located in the United States, most likely what we did in the past, you still have to, let's say there is a lady in Miami and you live in Washington State, like you still have to travel across the country to meet this one woman. And all this time I've been saying the success rate is much higher when you meet in multiple women. So if you travel and spend 5 hours on a plane, 5.5 hours on a plane to go meet a woman with whom you might or might not have chemistry, it's still fairly expensive, it's time consuming, and it might not go anywhere. So with pretty much the same money spent, you can go to Costa Rica or Colombia, and same time flight time as well, and you can meet hundreds of ladies, and there is excellent chances gonna click with one of them. So that's why we decided to move from this concept of having ladies in the US, because again they spread out all over the place. It just wasn't working too well. Be definitely more than welcome to explore these options and contact those few ladies that we still have on the website. We can introduce you to them if both of you are interested. But I would still recommend to travel to a destination where we have multiple ladies for you to meet. All right, the next one is from the Real Michael, who says, this is all a scam. Thank you, Real Michael. If they don't do this 100% free, it's a scam. Well, we don't charge ladies for our services, so they definitely do it for they want to meet you guys free of charge. We don't charge them. We do charge men for the services, but again, this is not a scam, as you can see in video testimonials. You can talk to guys who took the tours, and we've been around for 30 years. I've been here 15 years with the company myself, so I helped so many couples to meet each other. Responsible for so many babies to be born, not physically, but I participate with that. So it's definitely very, very real. So if you decided to, Real Michael, if you decided to explore the opportunity and meet some ladies, I'll be personally happy to introduce you to the ladies. David says, do you know if they're thinking about opening up airspace in Ukraine? It is not anywhere near in plans because it was, things still going on. It's been 4.5 years. There are still drone and missile attacks happening, and it's just not safe for airspace to be open. So it's for your safety, for everybody's safety. So until the war is over, they're not going to be opening the airspace. Unfortunately, yes, it's inconvenient. Especially if you have to travel to a place like Kiev. Hey, I'm not a big fan of those 19 hours train ride myself, which I have to do it every single time. But you can always travel through Moldova, and especially if you meeting a lady in Odessa or somewhere southern Ukraine, you fly to Moldova, it's only 3-4 hours car ride and you're in Odessa, so it's not that bad. Trey says, ain't no woman worth getting a bomb shelter for y'all tripping. Well, again, I travel to Ukraine, not for any women, but I'm still alive. You're looking at me. I've been to Ukraine multiple times since the war started, personally. Last time I did a tour, it was last November, it was 6 months ago. We went to bomb shelter, Napgon once in the middle of the night. Basically, you just put the app on your phone and it just notifies you if there's something going on. I slept through most of the stuff, but one time staff said, yeah, there's actually missile attack. It's not what girls from the office told me, like, okay, if it's drone, you keep sleeping, you're fine. But if it's a missile, you really should go down to bomb shelter, which is not, you don't have to go far. You just go down to minus first floor in the hotel that you're staying at. So it's not that bad, So just you wake up, you go down. We went there, we had some champagne there, so we just chilled there for about an hour, and once the air siren stopped, we just went back to our bed and continued sleeping. So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, and of course, if you don't feel comfortable traveling to Ukraine, it's absolutely up to you. I'm not gonna try to convince you otherwise. If you're corresponding with someone from Ukraine, you can always discuss it with your lady and see how she feels about traveling to Poland or Moldova or whatever it is to meet you in one of those countries. So whatever you're comfortable. Jonathan says, AFA should invite Russian Ukraine girls to the seminar socials that take place here in the US. Well, again, as I mentioned, it's a little bit more complicated with Ukrainian ladies. Every culture has a little bit different dynamics. Russian or Ukrainian ladies, I don't see them traveling across the country to LA socials. It's just I don't think it's gonna be happening. Just different culture, different dynamics. It is what it is. Because it's just in our culture, it's we don't travel to meet men's supposed to travel to meet us. Just because in that culture, men's supposed to make the first move, for women don't actively approach a man. It is what it is again. Yasukivi says maybe hold social. Hold on 1 second, I just lost your question. Give me a second. Maybe hold social somewhere like Shanghai, Hong Kong for Russians and Ukrainians. Chinese visa free for them and Westerners. There is also many direct international flights. Well, technically, I hear what you're saying. Let's look at the economics of what you're proposing. So flight from Moscow, imagine if it's a woman from Moscow. I'm not even talking about middle of nowhere town with no airport available, but let's talk about people from Moscow that actually has some money, not like the rest of people in Russia. So flight from Moscow to, let's say, Shanghai in this case, would be on average right now, depending on the date, about $700 round trip. Plus, we add into a hotel to that. Plus, spending money and time off work. Right? So at the very least, we're looking at $1,500 to $2,000 worth of a trip. Average salary is about $400 a month. So what are the chances a lady is gonna spend 5 months of her mortgage payment to travel to the event that lasts 4 hours to meet the guy? Well, slim to none. It's just not happening. So yes, Russian, Ukrainian ladies not gonna be traveling to attend Chinese socials, and I'm not even mentioning a lovely 9-hour flight each way at the very least, if she's traveling from Moscow. Again, if she lives somewhere else, it's, let's say she lives in Norilsk, Russia. So from there, she needs to fly 5 hours to Moscow, have 10 hours layover, and another 9 hours to get to China. So yes, they're not gonna be common. Julian says, what's the main difference between a group tour and individual tour? Which is the best for who? I always recommend the group tour because I'm just a big fan of that. It's because you have to meet more ladies there. So depending on the tour, at each social event, we're gonna have anywhere from 60-70 ladies per event to 150 to 200 ladies. So you're meeting hundreds of ladies within that week that you're in the country. Plus you get unlimited meetings, your hotel is taken care of, you have staff support. So it's, first of all, besides it's being better value for your money and you get more support, you also got to meet hundreds of ladies versus 14 ladies that you limited on individual tour. So individual tour is $24.95, so $2,500 for 7 days of introductions. Nothing else is included besides your introductions. On the group tour, the price varies by destination, so anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500, just depending which destination and how many days you stay in the country. Your hotel is covered, socials, introductions, staff support. So it's so much better. Individual tours were designed for the guys who cannot make it on a group tour for whatever reasons. So their work schedule doesn't allow them to travel during those dates or something else. So if you can, I'd recommend the group tour. But if for some reason you cannot make it, we have individual tour available in the cities where we have our AFA offices. If we don't have an office in that city, we still can arrange one-on-one dates. Just reach out to us and we can share more information about individual dates as well. Right, let's see the next one. The next one is from Trey. No such thing as the one. 8 billion people on the planet. Yes, there's 8 billion people on the planet, but it's still, you're not gonna be seeing all 8 billion people on the planet. And I think I've read the statistics somewhere. So yes, usually it's 2, 3, 4 partners that people consider to be, because a serial monogamist, human beings overall, serial monogamous people. So we're talking about 3, 4, 5 partners overall. So, but by saying the one, we're referring to your possible future life partner, right? Paul says, if I see some girls I'm interested in on your website and then go on one of your tours, what happens when the girls I'm interested are invited to meet me and I don't click with some of them or all of them? They've put in a lot of effort to attend because I said I wanted to meet them. Are they angry, terribly disappointed, or do they just take it in stride? Well, let's put it this way. Ladies aren't going to be traveling all the way to your destination city if they live outside of your destination city to meet you. So let's put it away. You say you're going to Kiev, right? Hypothetically, or whatever, Barranquilla, Colombia. So if you go to Barranquilla, Colombia, you can invite as many ladies from Medellin as you want, but it's slim to none chances they're going to be flying all the way from Medellin to Barranquilla for the social event. The only exception is China, because again, it's a little bit different social dynamics there and different financial dynamics there. It's a little bit different. But for all other destinations, so when you submit your list for the socials, it has to be ladies from that specific cities. If you want to meet someone for one-on-one date, it's possible if you had a correspondence with this lady, possibly video call, so she feels comfortable traveling somewhere just to meet you. It's possible, but that's something also you discuss with her before you come to her country. And also she will be expecting you to pay for her travel. So it's not like, okay, you're going to Kiev, but this lady is from Dnipro, and you say, well, okay, come to Kiev and meet me. Like, she'll expect you to pay for that train ride from Dnipro round trip, for her hotel, for her taxis, possibly meal money. So you're paying for all this. So yeah, okay, if it doesn't work out, then you guys part ways, but also you're taking some financial loss at it. That's why I'm saying before you start inviting a bunch of people from other cities, just think about it twice, because again, if you go to social in Kiev and you meet the lady at the social in Kiev that you really like, but you just invited this lady from Dnipro that's coming for 3 days to spend with you, you're gonna be stuck with this woman, besides paying for her expenses, of course, but you're gonna be stuck with her, and if there is no chemistry and connection, you lose the time with someone whom you really like over someone you might or might not like. So think twice, don't overextend yourself, and think about how to plan your time better in a city. All right. And again, as far as the ladies being upset, well, again, if she comes all the way and you had correspondence and you paid for her trip, most likely she's gonna be okay. If things didn't work out, like, okay, we tried, I put in effort, you put in effort, we just part ways. But then again, as I mentioned, they're not going to be coming to the social. If they would travel for the social and spending 16 hours on a bus, I can see how those ladies would be super upset. That's why we don't even offer to do that. Yasukuvi says, as someone who's been with AFA on the Ukrainian tour and later independently, why do you not hold socials in Western Ukraine like Lviv, Chernovtsi, or nearby cities like Warsaw, Bucharest, etc.? The answer is pretty much still the same, because we don't have enough ladies in those cities. Database for Lviv, for Chernovtsi is a tiny database, right? In order to put together a social of, again, which our average Ukrainian social nowadays is about 150 ladies. And in order to get 150 ladies to a social, we need to call 400 women to get this 150 to come, because people have plans, they have lives, so they might not be interested or available to come to the event. So in order to get to put together 2 socials with 150 ladies at each of them, so we need to call 600 to 800 ladies, and we simply don't have enough of them in Lviv, Chernovtsi, and the same in Warsaw. If you open a database and go to advanced search engine, enter your criteria, see how many profiles we have on Warsaw. Currently, what's like 60, 70 profiles? So there's not enough to even put one social together. So we don't want to waste guys' time and the women's time. So it's just better to do the social where we can actually host it in a proper fashion. Braden says, do you recruit women from other dating websites to join your website? No, we do not do that. Absolutely not. Isakira says, before the war, I dated a woman Mariupol with your affiliate Olympia, and that affiliate is still operating in Bucharest and the owner escaped. Why not use that link to organize social there? Because how many women we have in Bucharest? 8 women. So we cannot do a social with that. So we cannot bring 15 guys to Bucharest expecting again introduce them to 300 plus women when we have about 8 to 10 or whatever it is women in a database there. So just because the owner of the agency relocated, it's not like the whole database moved with her and those ladies stayed where they stayed, or maybe they moved somewhere in Europe but they didn't move to Bucharest. David says, it seems that since the Ukraine tour sells out quickly, do they ever consider allowing more guys to attend, especially since the guys are paying for their own airfare? Well, airfare is not our issue, so one of the reasons why we limited the number of guys on the Ukrainian tour overall is just because of the concerns how big of events we can host. It's getting a little better now, and actually, for a matter of fact, for this July tour, I believe we're taking a little bit more guys, because normally cutoff is 15. I think we allowed a few more guys to join, and because we would be able to put together a bigger social. Because again, with everything that's going on, we cannot host socials with 300-400 ladies at each social like we did before. So we can do, and plus our staff in Ukraine now is also limited. A lot of people relocated to different parts of Ukraine, to different parts of Europe. So our abilities are limited, and we just want to do a good job and make sure you guys have a good time. That's why we limit the number of guys right now. Once things get better, we'll be able to, accommodate everyone, because again, we don't want to have like 3 staff members that are hypothetically and have 20 guys sitting there. So meaning that each staff member has to work with 6 7 guys instead of normally 2 or 3 like they're supposed to. So it's gonna affect everybody's experience. So if a staff is overwhelmed, then they can schedule that 6 7 guys date accordingly. It's just gonna be one big mess. Guys are mad, women are mad, everybody's mad, so it's gonna be a disaster. So we're taking it easy for now. Charlie says, hi Anna, how you doing? The answer to the poll question, what gave me the idea to do international dating? It was April 28, 2005. You have a really good memory for the dates, I see. God, I can't remember what I did yesterday, and you remember a specific date. I met a girl from Kazan, Russia. Her name was Angel, around 24 years old, from AmericanSingles.com. We rode 3 weeks, then asked for money for a tourist visa to come to United States. Question. Would I be more successful meeting more English-speaking women from Kyiv on a group tour instead of a Euro club? Again, my personal opinion on the subject, I definitely recommend the group tour again if you can make it. July is already sold out. We still have October available, so you're more than welcome to come with me to Kyiv. But it's just, again, you meet more people. That's really the main difference. It's like buying a lot of lottery tickets. So if you're buying 300 lottery tickets versus 14, I mean, even one of 14 can be the winning one, but if you have 300, chances, a little bit higher. But whatever works for you, we'll be happy to help. Yisa Kivia says, I love the night train trips in Ukraine, admittedly before a war started. But my first time I went to Ukraine for AFA tour, I went from Chisinau by night train. It was a great experience. I haven't done Chisinau train just yet. I saw there is supposed to be one from Chisinau to Kiev, but I can't seem to find the tickets. I'm actually looking at that one myself because I think I'm ready to change the scenery, because I've done quite a few from Warsaw to Kiev. Last time I've done Bucharest to Kiev train. God forbid I ever do that again, because that was a mess. So all my previous times when I was doing the train, it was more Soviet, either 2-seaters, people for two people compartment or 4 people compartment. On the Bucharest one, it was 3 people. So 3 shelves, one after another, so which you have, only that much space in between the shelves, so you can even lift your head. So for 19 hours, it's not very comfortable. And there was the stupid stairs. So imagine and you can select where your seat. So if you end up sitting on the last shelf, you have to somehow, get down. So if you need to go use a bathroom or something, you need to figure out how you crawl on the 3 shelves down. It was that was a disaster. Never again. That's why I'm gonna check out how's the the Chisinau train looks like to Kyiv. If it's a normal one, 1, 2, or 4-seaters, I'll do that. But if it's 3-seaters, God forbid, I'm gonna do Bosnia before I do the 3-seaters next time. Ducati says, been to Ukraine and about to go back in the next months. Ukraine was awesome. Even met Tana in the gym, since I work out twice a week. Wonderful country, yes. There's so many great gyms. It's never gonna be a problem to find a good one. People in Ukraine are very health conscious and try to work out a lot. So again, so many gyms at every corner. And yes, of course, people are wonderful and friendly. So great. Let me know if you need any help with traveling to Ukraine. I'll be happy to help. Paul says, thank you for answering my question about not meeting a lady and then not clicking with her. I'm thinking about Bangkok. Does that change your answer? Well, Bangkok is going to be a little easier in a way that we have an office there. It's a great office, great staff. So we have a lot of ladies there, so you can always travel to meet that one lady, but have a backup plan. Have a list of other ladies that you'll be interested in meeting. You don't have to write to them, but worst come to worst, it doesn't work out with your main lady. You come to the office, you give them your list of ladies, and they're gonna contact those ladies, show them your profile, and see who's interested, who's not, and arrange more dates for you. So you don't waste your time while you're in Bangkok, because yes, traveling all the way there, there's this lovely 16 hours travel 16, depending on where you go coming from, so 16-20 hours travel time. You want to have more than one date. Malibu Ed says, great webcast. So why do ladies from smaller cities like Ukraine sign up with AFA if they want to travel to a social? Just because they won't travel to a social doesn't mean they won't consider traveling for a one-on-one date. So if you have the correspondence with this woman, if she feels comfortable, if she feels it worth her time to go all the way to Kiev or Odessa, whatever it is, to meet you, and again you're paying for the trip, and she has ability, like you can take time off work, she'll come and meet you. But of course, if you just call in someone out of the blue and say, hey, we're in Kiev, we have a tour in Kiev, this guy considering coffee date with you, yeah, I understand you're in Dnipro and you have 10-hour train ride each way, would you come over for a coffee date? Of course she's not gonna say yes. It's obvious. So those ladies still hoping to meet someone, but first of all, a lot of them hoping a man come to their to their cities. They don't really thinking about our tours as much. So thinking if a man is serious, he can come to my city and meet me there. Or again, if we know each other well enough, okay, we can meet halfway, but it has to be individual date. I'm not wasting my time, 10 hours on a train just to go to an event where my potential man is going to be talking to, 150 other women. It's a waste of their time. Yesiku says, definitely most interested in Eastern European ladies. Good. Ducati, I was in Lviv, Khmelnytsky, and Odessa. Gym girls were awesome too. See, and again, that's another great thing about traveling, whether on a tour or not, to a destination country. It's not only you meeting the ladies that's in our database, but you can meet people in just everyday life. You can talk to waitress at the restaurant. You can meet the front desk staff at the hotel. You can talk to girls at the gym. You can, meet someone else on the street. I had a lot of guys doing that. Just like, hey, if you see a cute girl passing by and it's, something you might be interested, it's not gonna hurt you to say hi. People are friendly. If she's not interested or available, she'll let you know right away. But she's not gonna be rude about it. Like, say, hey, sorry, not. And that's it. And what you have to lose. So you can always maximize your time there when you're in the country. And Brian says, this is an easy poll question. The women in the US are no longer just approachable, let alone take out on a date, unfortunately. They have been deeply brainwashed in feminism, thinking they're stronger than us, always combative. Not all the ladies are like this, but place the needle in a haystack can get very tiresome. I'm looking for someone that can be my wife and the mother of our children. If it's the last line of defense to find such ladies, not combative ones who want wives or not opponents to fight. And as I mentioned earlier, yes, on the destination that we go to, a lot of ladies still very old-fashioned, and you guys' values and life goals can be very similar, but I still recommend to discuss the life goals pretty much up front, because people can have their own ideas. So before you spend your time with some lady and go on 5 dates, before you ask how she sees your future life together, you might want to ask this question right away. Ducati says, if I'm already in Ukraine, can I come to one of your tours? That's not gonna be an option in Ukraine until the war is over, at the very least. Even when before the war, tours were pretty much sold out most of the time. So right now it's sold out 6 months in advance. So yeah, unfortunately you won't be able to join while you're in Ukraine. While in Ukraine, if there's no tour going on, we can arrange individual dates for you. So for that, you can schedule through the website, but I still recommend to plan accordingly, and give us as much notice as you can, because we need to contact the women. They need to plan accordingly, take time off work and things like this. So if we call them, hey, can you show up in 3 hours for a coffee date with this guy, even if they like you? So we'll say no, because it takes three hours for one to get ready for a date, not mention she has other obligations like work, family, etc., etc. So more heads up you can give us, the better it is. And Braden says, if I wanted to date a woman from a different website, would I get help with that or would be on my own for that? Unfortunately, we will not be able to help setting up with, setting up the dates with women from other website for one simple question. Because we do not have their contact information. So we're gonna have the same information as you do. So we're looking at this woman's photo and like how we're supposed to contact her. Like, well, hey, Irina from Kiev, how we're supposed to know which out of 5 million Irinas from Kiev this one is? So we're not gonna have your contact information, so we can't call her. If you happen to have your phone number, yes, you can talk to your assistant during the tour and say, hey, this is Irina, her phone number is, +380, blah, blah, blah. So can you help me set up a date with her? And then we can just send her a message and explain what's going on and see what she says, but we definitely cannot guarantee anything. Alright, so I think that was the last question for today. Guys, appreciate you watching. Thank you for all wonderful questions and looking forward to seeing you next Monday. Thank you and a good night.
From the beginning, you came to Ukraine. You decided to come to Ukraine, war zone, drones are flying around, but you decided to come over here. It didn't scare you. Why you decided to come to Ukraine?
I play the percentages.
Play the percentage.
Chances of me, an individual,